When it comes to combat sports, bigger often means stronger, and having a longer reach can give you more control. But as we've seen over and over, size alone doesn't guarantee victory. In today's video, we're going to watch as a much smaller sized opponent. Our first match takes us to a fierce battle between a fighter from the lightest weight division in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, the rooster weight class, who's up against a much bigger opponent from the heavyweight division. Right from the start, the size difference is hard to miss. The rooster weight fighter, weighing under 125 pounds, faces a heavier rival who clearly has the advantage in strength and pressure. But here's where technique takes over and changes everything. With lightning-fast speed, impressive agility, and mastery of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, the smaller fighter begins to take control. His flawless ground game, smooth transitions, and nearly impenetrable defense set the stage for him to wait patiently for the right opening. After a few minutes of incredible defense, he spots a perfect moment. With perfect timing and execution, he locks in a submission that forces his much larger opponent to tap out. The next fight is an equally intense women's showdown.
Remember the two things that I said? One, when I take a safe break, take a full step back, protect yourself at all times.
Right from the beginning, both fighters seem evenly matched. The smaller fighter, despite the obvious size difference, keeps pace with her much larger opponent, showing incredible skill and unwavering resilience. The fighter in black shorts demonstrates remarkable agility, skillfully dodging the heavy strikes of her larger adversary.
It's so high up in the air, it's almost at the top of this.
The turning point comes when the smaller fighter takes the initiative. In a lightning-fast move, she lands a devastating right hook, and in the blink of an eye, her opponent crashes to the canvas. Speed and agility are often the secret weapons of smaller fighters. Unlike their larger counterparts, they can exploit gaps in defense and react quickly as the fight shifts. One great example of this is Fedor Kungli's stunning victory over Bob Sapp. Despite Sapp's overwhelming size and power, Kungli's speed and precision allowed him to land a fight-ending blow, securing a knockout victory. Next, we're going to see an iconic moment when Fedor Emelianenko, one of the greatest MMA fighters of all time, faced off against a much larger opponent, Hongman Choi. By staying light on his feet and exploiting Choi's slower reactions, Fedor was able to land precise strikes and, with perfect timing, lock in a flawless armbar submission, forcing the giant to tap out. But Fedor wasn't the only one who made a name for himself by taking down a larger opponent. Hongman Choi also tasted defeat at the hands of a kickboxer known as the Shaolin Kung Fu Master, Yi Long. Yi Long, standing at 5 feet 9 inches, was dwarfed by Choi, who stood more than 7 feet tall. But despite the massive size difference, Yi Long showed no fear. In a memorable showdown in Macau, Yi Long took control with his courage, quick reflexes, and strength. Yi Long, whose full name is Fakir Yi Long, skillfully dodged Choi's brutal strikes and countered with sharp, precise blows. However, the fight took an unexpected turn when Choi absorbed a kick to the groin. After taking a moment to recover, the Korean fighter could no longer continue, and Yi Long was declared the winner by technical knockout. Meanwhile, Fedor Emelianenko was also busy taking down another giant, the legendary Semi Schilt.
Step on his toes. Demolition. Fireworks in the ring on this one.
Using every technique in his arsenal, Fedor managed to take Schilt to the ground, pin him down, and secure a submission victory. Next, we witness an incredible moment when the heaviest athlete in the world was taken down by a much smaller kung fu expert. Standing at 6 feet 6 inches and weighing a staggering 881 pounds, Emmanuel Yarbrough was a sumo wrestler who made a notable appearance in UFC 3. He squared off against Keith Hackney, a skilled kung fu specialist.
It's very difficult for him to...
But Yarbrough's defeat didn't end there. He also faced Daiju Takase, who displayed exceptional control throughout the fight.
This is what he needs. He's running away.
He's got to use movement.
Takase's smaller frame worked to his advantage, allowing him to move swiftly, while Yarbrough struggled with his mobility. The intensity of the fight picked up when Yarbrough briefly trapped Takase by pinning his leg. However, Takase's agility and quick reflexes allowed him to escape the sumo wrestler's grip with ease. As the fight wore on, Yarbrough began to tire, and Takase seized the opportunity, launching a relentless attack. With Yarbrough unable to defend himself, the referee stepped in and declared Takase the winner by knockout.
Sliding off the boat into the jaws of the shark. This is the exact same thing.
And finally, we have an extraordinary moment featuring Genki Sudo as he faces off against the massive fighter, Butterbean. At the start of the fight, Sudo remained calm and calculated, never rushing into reckless moves. He was strategic, carefully avoiding unnecessary risks while waiting for the perfect opportunity to strike against the much bigger Butterbean. Even when Butterbean tried to close the distance and apply pressure, Sudo skillfully evaded, keeping his distance and waiting for the right moment. After a few minutes of dodging and analyzing his opponent's movements, Sudo saw his chance. He made his move and brought Butterbean down to the ground. But just as it seemed like he'd be able to capitalize on the position, the first round came to an end. In the second round, Butterbean took the initiative, trying to bring the fight to the ground. But in a stunning turn of events, Sudo reversed the situation entirely, locking in a leg submission. With no way out, Butterbean was forced to tap out, handing Genki Sudo a well-earned victory.